Hello, everybody out there in the internet. Welcome to Aimless Babble Z, episode 257. I'm Ticketmaster, joined by.
RPG Maniac 05.
And Trioptical.
So yeah, we got some what you've been playing. Um, News maybe, middle segment maybe. I don't know.
There's a lot
Whatever.
of babies going on. You don't even know. It's just gonna happen.
Well, you
Stuff is
know,
gonna happen.
yeah.
It's Aimless Podcast.
It's like what we've been.
We've all
playing
been
and
here
other stuff.
before.
Yeah.
We might be like all the cool shows and kill off people. So stay tuned.
Well, at the current rate of my playing Destiny, it's just I can't be accountable for the other segments of the podcast outside the first one.
So what is going on with you in Destiny now? Are you crazed?
No, I'm not crazy tropical. I'm back from the brink.
Never broken?
Never broken.
Never broken.
I would disagree with that statement because he's had some pretty broken moments.
We've heard some crazy parts. Yeah.
Maybe some cracks in the armor, but they've been filled and sealed. But I mean, I was kind of angry when I saw the whole you need to be level 30 to do their new raid. But I was like, whatever, because I mean 29, whatever. I can just jump in with
Don't you
some
have
30s.
level 30
Yeah.
characters anyway?
Hey, RPG, they're not all 30, and my main dude, my warlock, isn't 30. And whatever. It's like I'm over it, dude. I don't even upset anymore. It's like whatever. I get 3 gloves this week. It's like 3 gauntlets. I didn't even know it's possible. It's like I got 2 in normal and then 1 in hard. It's like whatever. Just keep
That
on.
was hilarious.
Keep on doing it, Destiny. Keep on doing it, because you can't stop me. It can't be broken. The Crackout is immune. But I guess I did finally get to 30 with 2 of my characters, so I was like, yay, but not really, because I was like, at that point, it's like, whatever. I'm so bitter and jaded about it. The journey has just like scarred me, and there's no coming back from it. And they keep changing stuff in the game where it's like, oh, well, now you don't need these, or now you need these. And now I'm like, oh, this is going to be weird. It's like on one hand, I don't regret being there on day 1 and just continuing to like plow through, because I won't have to have that initial investment of time to get my characters to where they're at now. But then on the other hand, it's probably going to be easier to get to where they're at now, maybe later on. But we'll see, because I don't know if they'll ever do that. Because that's what people keep saying. It's like, oh, well, if you just wait, they'll totally just like make it so streamlined and easy for new people that they can just get there in no time at all. But what
I actually
fun
think
is that?
like they do it on purpose, or not necessarily on purpose, but that seems to be how it goes. I mean, if you think about World of Warcraft, it used to be a much longer game to get up to the max level, even though the max level was lower than it is now. But then over time, yeah, like over time, it was it was important to bring more people in. And it's like, so how do you do that? It's like, well, you make it less grindy, because no one likes grinding, and it's sort of. I assumed this was going to happen to Destiny eventually, that they would allow you to buy resources instead of having to go out and farm them, and lots of stuff like that, because initially, yeah, like we all know, there wasn't that much content really. I mean, there's content that you play over and over again, and that was pretty much it. So the way to slow down people a little bit is to make them do grindy stuff, and the most hardcore tend to not mind as much, I think. I mean, Tekken, like, even though it was a grind, you still went through it.
Yep. See, there's a weird thing about like that's why I said like last week or whatever week it was. I don't remember because I played every week. So it's like whenever I said the whole thing of like I'm never playing an MMO, it's like to me it's like I can't play games that are structured like this where there is no in game of like we go through the campaign, go through the story. There's some side quests, some side missions, whatever. But at the end of the day, you're going from like there's a story arc in there somewhere as you play from the beginning to the end, and maybe there's some side stuff you can just go off and goof around in, but you're going to have an experience and you're going to get from the beginning to the end and get there eventually. And this game is not like that. I mean, that is there, but it's so underwhelming, I guess, that it's not something that it's like it's not the main course, where it's like something like Dragon Age or Final Fantasy or any other like traditional RPG game. It has like the core story of like super long, enjoyable, and then other side stuff. But then it comes to the end, and you can just play it again, or New Game Plus like Borderlands or whatever, and you can just go through it again and get like even more awesome gear and loot or Chrono Trigger style, see all the endings, but this one it's just like it hooks you in and just like wants to keep. It's like an interesting dynamic because it's like, on one hand you have like the traditional style of like, what I just said, and you have games like this where it's like there's like a base experience for like the vanilla game, and then as they add expansions on top, and there's other stuff to do, or like they add more of the things that you like to do, like more raids, more strikes, yada yada yada, to like keep you coming back for more and like raising the level, and like you progress as your character, and like your characters progress. You can like see them from like back when I could like, it took me like, maybe 18 minutes to kill or not 18 minutes, like 8 or however long it took.
One Praetorian.
Yeah, it's like took forever to kill a fallen walker by myself, where now I can kill it in like less than a minute because my characters are so awesome. So I don't know. I'm never doing this again though. Like ever, like if I ever say anything about like, oh man, this MMO game, it's like, oh, this is Mass Effect, and there's some MMO game coming out, and it's like blah, 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 just punch me in the face, and like remember Destiny, how it almost broke you? It's like, yeah, just remember that. Just I haven't scarred for life now, and I just like think back to that time when I was like, I don't even want to play the game anymore, but like I played like over hundreds of hours. Like, why would I stop now? So it's really weird.
So I will have a question for Tekken later.
Oh gosh.
Because, this is
fantastic.
Yeah, I think. Well, for me, I keep thinking about what my friends think. Like, I convinced them to get PS4s and Destiny. So, even though I had nothing to do with making the game, I feel responsible for it. And then, so like when it was really grindy, it's like, and I'm not having fun looking for materials, I'm thinking, it's like, oh man, how are we going to do this in the future? Like, how will this be enjoyable for us to do every week, to go out and just farm materials? And so I try to think, say, when has it been fun? It's like, well, so, sometimes aimless assembles, and we go out and we're just doing patrols, and because we're like that one time we were farming the relic iron. It's like, I found that entertaining. So it's like, well, where was the fun in that? It's like, was it because Tekken was almost on the brink of insanity?
Yes.
And so, I think about
actually,
these things.
not to interrupt you, but that is kind of like one of the fun parts of the game of like, how far can it push someone, and then like you're in the game with them and they're at that level, because it's like like yesterday with Zafro, when we were in the tower after you didn't get anything in the raid, and like you can kind of see get to him. It's like, oh, Zafro is kind of going off here. I'm kind of entertained, but I'm not going to say anything. Oh, it's kind of weird. And I was like, oh, that's what everybody must feel like when I kind of go off kilter here.
It is pretty hilarious.
It's awesome.
And then Gamer is just, gamers are the best. He's just like potty mouth, just dropping the F-bombs everywhere. It's great. Just yelling. Oh man, I forgot the Galahorn. Stupid stream, like crappy, so I didn't get it. But yeah, it's great.
Oh, that must have been hilarious.
And then we were in party chat, so when I share buttoned it didn't have all the dial, or like everybody else, it just had me. And I was like, curses.
Oh, Tekken got the Mythic class this week.
Oh yeah.
Oh, did he?
Awesome.
And it got crazy again.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, like the new enhancements for me is like, wow, this takes such a load off of my shoulders, because it streamlines a part of the game so much. Yeah, mainly that resource farming thing. Like now, essentially, you'd never have to resource farm. All you have to do is play strikes, which are fun. Looking for public events is kind of fun. Crucible, I really like. So like everything that I like to do in the game now gets me a currency that actually buys something that is useful to me.
Oh, you can buy stuff now?
Yeah, now it's like 10 Crucible marks or 10 Vanguard marks will get you 20 of whatever.
Yep,
yeah,
that's great.
Source you want.
Oh, that
it is so
been
nice.
a thing like a long time ago.
Yeah, it fixes, it just smooths out everything so much. It's like,
Did you see what they're doing with the Vanguard weaponry though, and how you acquire it?
I don't think so.
You have to get tokens, like Vanguard tokens or Crucible tokens. Like when you, not the. Like when you
you're
level
talking
up your
about
rep with your with the Vanguard or the vendors, it'll give you like a token thingy instead of just like a free Vanguard or whatever.
Right.
Well, actually, I'm not sure if it still gives you a thingy, but or free legendary. But I think you get like tokens every time you level up, and then you exchange those to get your legendary stuff from the vendors. So I was like, curses. 'Cause that takes a lot of time to do.
Wait, so it doesn't cost Glimmer anymore? Or is this after
Oh
DLC?
no, they never costed the legendary stuff. Never costed glimmer. It was all marks.
Oh, you're right. Okay. So it doesn't cost marks anymore?
I think it costs marks and the token thingies, but I'm not sure.
Okay, so you
I've yet to
just
see
you
it.
can't
Because in
do
the
what
weekly
we were
update they
doing.
were showing it, and it's like, I guess I'll try to pull it up. But yeah, it was like there's the two thingies that they're introducing, and you have to have those when you go to the quartermaster to get your Vanguard stuff.
But so essentially, like you can only like the number of items you can get is a lot lower now because before it was just like you just bought them with marks and it was
Yeah,
pretty easy to get marks.
I don't think it's a lot lower. It's just going to take longer. But then
Okay.
everybody has so much stuff right now that's not really an issue. Well, if you've been playing like me, because I have like all of them. So
Yeah, I have quite a well. Yeah, that was my problem. Like I had a ton of Crucible marks and
nothing to spend
not
it on.
as many Vanguard marks. And yeah, there's like nothing to buy. It's like all this stuff is not as good as the stuff that I have. And now it's like, oh, now there's a use for it. Like I can use these to buy resources and not have to go out. You know, now resources that you find in the environment are just a bonus. Because Crucible marks, that's still something. Like 10 Crucible marks is 3 or 4 games. That's quite a while. But it's way more fun than running around and looking for spin metal or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I completely stopped farming like 2 weeks ago or something, so or weeks
But
ago.
you already have a ton of resources.
Yeah, and that's the reason I was like not worried about it for a while. But then when I ran out, I was like, "Oh, Chris says I don't want to go farm." So I just kept like I kept like leveling stuff up. I just wouldn't fully upgrade it. I'd be like, whatever. I'll just not worry about it because I already have awesome stuff. So
Kind of what I was doing. Well, man, it's weird now. Like the limiting factor for me is Glimmer. Like I don't have enough Glimmer to upgrade my armor to maximum. I need 900 and I have 78. And it's like, oh, how did it come to this? Is it the fleet of ships that I bought?
Yeah.
yeah, that would be
Yes,
one of
it
them.
is.
Well, recently it was like Iron Banner. I bought
The space bus.
the space bus I won in the
You got
Crucible.
that.
But like the armor, I bought the Greaves and are Greaves boots or
Arms. Oh wait, no, they're
Those
feet.
are the
They're
arms.
boots. They're
Arms
boots.
and
Greaves are-
leg
Greaves are
stuff.
boots.
Yeah,
Gauntlets are the
gauntlets
arms.
are the- yeah.
I bought those. Each of them was like almost 8,000, and the cap is what 25,000.
I didn't even know you had to like buy Iron Banner stuff with Glimmer. Now I'm glad I didn't.
The first Iron Banner, they're really cheap. I think they were like 10 Glimmer each. But then, after they changed up how the Iron Banner worked, it's like, oh, now they're really expensive. So those were like 8,000 each, and then the weapons were, I think, 11,000 each, and the mark thing that you can wear, I think, was 4,000, 5,000, and like the shaders were 2,000. Basically, I ended up with everything except for a shader and one of the weapons. Because I didn't have enough Glimmer. I bought 3 things, like, wow, I have no Glimmer. Like, I have to farm Glimmer. This is something I've never had to do before, and so I have no idea how to do this.
How do you do it? How
Well, I went to Exclusion Zone, which is the first mission on Mars, and jacked up the difficulty. And like when you first
Oh yeah, there's like 9.
unlock the thing, there's like a ton of those. Yeah.
Cabal.
So I played there a little while. I was like, oh, this is boring. Forget the other weapon. I'll just get the scout rifle.
Were you using the consumable that gives you more Glimmer for that type of
Yep.
enemy? Oh, okay, it still
was
wasn't
like-
a lot.
Yeah, I could get 500 maybe on a run through. And I was like, oh, it's gonna take forever. So yeah, that's where I'm at now. It's like, oh, I have barely enough Ascendant shards, because I wasn't doing all the dailies and stuff like Tekken, and
Yeah, see, my initial investment totally paid off because I'm like, dude, I'm like
See?
drowning in shards of energy right now, and nothing to spin it on. It's like, yeah, who's laughing now?
it doesn't even matter because I don't have the Glimmer to do it. So like, I don't know how to I know how to get Ascendant shards better than I know how to get Glimmer. sort of crazy there. It's weird. But yeah, man, it's so nice. I can't even remember the other enhancements. Like that one thing, the resource trading is like, oh, this
They
is
changed
fantastic.
the way that you level up the exotics, where it's like you don't need the
Just the
charge
one
energy.
exotic shard.
You just need the
Yep.
one exotic shard, which is awesome.
I guess that's pretty good.
Pretty
Did
good
you read
exotic
the
shard, though.
like? I don't know if Bungie already wrote it. Like Game Informer's next month, they talked about how post DLC. So actually, a lot of stuff will happen even if you don't own the DLC.
Like the sword thing.
Right. The other stuff was like, you'll be able to trade in your exotics for higher level versions.
Oh
at
man.
zero. But you'll need like one of the exotic shards.
Dude, Trapped Coal. Zuri's going to sell them for like 7 strange coins, and I have like 200 something, so it's like whatever. It's like strange coins. I could get.
I'm not talking about you.
Okay.
I'm talking about regular people.
Like a normal people.
For all you suckers out there with one guardian.
I think it's like 7,000 glimmer, one of these shards, and another thing.
It's
and then
actually
you
funny
trade
though,
it
'cause
in.
it's like every time I'm about to like take it easy on the game, and like I play less, and then they just do something weird, and it's like, oh, back in.
So the higher level ones, do they just have like better abilities or something, or is it like a higher attack cap or something now?
Yeah, it'll have higher attack caps if they're weapons, and higher light and armor caps if they are armor. So they'll help you get up to 32 basically.
Interesting.
Yeah, there are a few other things.
Yeah, they actually in their thingy. I just put a link in the chat, but they said that basically next week when they come out with all the level 32 crap for level 32, it's like all the nightfalls and stuff, like the weeklies.
Oh yeah,
they're gonna
they're gonna
raised to
bump them
32.
up 2 levels.
So it's like I can't.
That is gonna be
So I won't be able to do it the
Scary.
first week.
level 30 nightfall.
Well, maybe I will. But I won't. No, I won't be able to because curses. Or no. We'll see.
Yes, you can, because you have your other characters.
I know, but my one's gonna get left behind, and I'm gonna be all sad.
If it makes you feel any better, neither of my characters are at 30, so I wouldn't be able to do it if I wanted to.
I have 2 sets of 30 armor for 1 character.
I mean, if I actually played the game to level up my armor, I could be level 30, but that requires me to play the game, so it has.
See, now it's actually slightly easier because before you had to do a lot of different things. You had to do bounties probably to get the XP. Then you had to farm the materials, and then you could upgrade all your stuff. But now, like, you don't have to farm the materials. You can just do the bounties, get the XP, and then go buy your materials, and then be like, woohoo, level 30, which is what I did. Until I ran out of Glimmer, and I was like, oh no, again.
But I don't. Well, my PlayStation Plus subscription's over right
Yeah, I
now
saw that
anyway,
tweet.
so I can't. Anyway,
So what is going to happen with that? You're just waiting for a deal?
Well, now I'm probably going to renew it in January. I just didn't feel like bothering since I had stuff that I have that I'm playing that isn't like online. So I was like, I could just wait until January and do it.
Yeah, probably decent. So yeah, like this week I was like I've been kind of off of Destiny. I've been playing it very sparingly. It's like sometimes like, yeah, okay, I do want to level those up eventually, and since I'm not doing anything right now, I'll just go and farm some materials, and I'll get 10 of them, and then be like, oh, I can't take this anymore, and then I'll quit out and play something else. But yeah, after the update, I was like, oh, cool, yay! Now I'm very close to 30, so close.
Oh, also, it's funny if you the thingy I put in. They also said that they're not putting hard mode of the raid out until January, so it's gonna like buffer the the release of the hard mode, but people can't just like get in there and start getting to 32 yet, or like getting the level 32 rewards anyway.
Yeah.
Well, it probably gives them so that way they can see just in case they're like exploits too. They'll be able to catch it before they release a harder version.
Yeah, that was funny.
Speaking of harder versions, it was funny. I was playing with. So I got dragged into like 3 different raid groups. I have A team, which is aimless gamer advisory panel people, and then what I thought
You're
was
amazing.
and then like a Euro team, which is Europeans, and then I thought I had like another Euro squad, but it ends up they're just people on the West Coast, which is why they're always up later than me, and I'm not sure they call
But
them.
they have Euro accents.
No, but one of them, like one of their name, one of like the persons in their group's like name was like Euro something something. And I thought he was European. I didn't look at their profiles, and I looked at their profiles and like, oh, they're all in America, so whatever. And then and then so like now I'm like I usually call them West Coast Avengers or something something West Side something something. So that's like my third group, and then we were playing it on hard mode with them. Oh man, it was so awesome. Like, I had another moment when like. Okay, like last week with the A team, there was someone in our group that was like, I haven't done legit Templar before, and we're like, oh, whatever. And so that happened this week on the hard mode. Someone's like, I don't even know how to beat Templar normally. I was like, wow. And then so that happened again. And then we had like the most epic showdown where it was like we were on the verge of victory, and there's like, oh, the oracles are so annoying. And like we couldn't get to one of the oracles. We all got marked. Chaos ensued. He was enraged. There's minotaurs everywhere, and just like. We almost just like all wiped within like 30 seconds or something, but then luckily the shield dude was awesome. We had another person on our team was awesome, and then he had like no life. It was like crazy. He had like a sliver of health. I was like, how's he dead? How's he not dead? And then like I was shooting him. I was like, how's he not dead? It's just like he was completely black on his health bar. I was like, how's he not dead? Ah! And then like the dude with the shield put the shield down, and then it actually damages him, I guess, when the shield comes down, because like he dropped the shield and he just died. And I was like, oh yes, it was so sweet. It was so sweet. And I was just like, yes.
It does damage him when the shield comes down. Because I saw like a damage thingy like a couple of weeks ago when we were playing. Whenever I used the shield.
Yeah, well, I'm never a shield person, so I didn't know that. And then
I'm always busy killing.
which is ironic because yesterday in hard mode I was the shield guy, because I was like, well, dudes, I'm 29 because I was using my warlock, so I was like, I'll take the shield because I didn't do as much damage. It's a damage penalty, and I put on all my intellect pieces so I could get like really fast recharge on my super, and it totally worked. And like we had come really far before, and then like we all died, and they're like, oh, we like got totally this whatever. And then like we did it again, and then we beat him. We're like, yeah, it's just awesome. It was awesome. Like we finally found out the strategy on how to beat Templar legit. And it's just like, yes, it was so delicious. It was so delicious. And now we can do hard mode every week.
Delicious.
Like, yes, get our awesome gear drops and stuff, and then have gamer drop bad words, and we don't think anything. It's great. It's great. It's like, yes.
You really shouldn't take pleasure in that. That's kind of awful.
And then it was funny because like we were on like Gatekeeper, and like we like wrecked them, and then we like wrecked Atheon like it was nothing, and they were all just like, guys, I just want to say I'm so thankful because I have friends like you, and we're such an awesome team, and whenever I play with other stupid people in groups and they don't know what they're doing, I'm so grateful for all my friends in Game Advisory Panel, and like, you guys are so awesome. It's great, bro. Group hug moment. It was like, oh yeah, it's the best. I was like, yeah. It's like, RPG's not here to ruin it. It's great. Yeah.
Whoa.
High fives everywhere. Carty like came back to the game after like not playing for like over a week or something. It was crazy. It was, like, he had a Gallahorn and he saved the day. It was like, yes. That's how he got over the Templar as well, because like we can do enough damage. And Gamer's like, Carty, do you have a Gallahorn? He's like, yeah, I do. He's like, is it fully upgraded? He's like, yeah. I was like, yeah. It's like, oh, it's the best. Unlike RPG, who's like, oh, I got a Gallahorn. I'm never going to use it. Well, I'm not going to do my plus. Whatever.
If I don't play the game, Tekken, I can't like level up something if I'm not playing. So it's not my fault.
But yeah, that was yeah. That kind of makes it worth it for all the times the game kicked me in the face. It was like kicked me in the. Even though I got like 3 gloves with my warlock and no boots, whatever. I'm over it, man. Like, whatever. Like we got through hard mode, and so we can do this now. It's like, yeah, we got our plans for the Death Star. We can blow it up every week. Yes. And then in the next week, it's like, oh yeah, we can go in and have our fun Virgin experience on the new raid, and be like, oh, what's all this crazy hive stuff? Ah, yeah.
Well, it was really funny because when we were playing on normal, we hadn't died. Like, we didn't die until we were... I think
Templar fight.
We were fighting Templar, yeah. No one had died until the Templar fight, and everyone was really nervous. And then finally, our level 28 died, and I was like, oh, pressure's gone. It's like, you're that guy. But
actually,
yeah,
I think we're going to get it. I think we're going to get through... Within like the first 3 months of next year, I think we're gonna get through Vault class undeath, like no deaths, flawlessly, because we can get through the Gorgons now without like even being spotted. And I think one week we'll just be like, whatever, dude, let's not even worry about it. Let's go for the trophy and just like, yeah, it'll like just jump to the platforms, get the gatekeeper, wreck him, get the Atheon, kill him. Be like, yeah, we did it. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I mean, you don't really like need anything out of the raid anymore anyway, so you could just do it like any week and just go through and not die.
But RPG.
Yeah, I think there's too much going on actually.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we got see now in the future to sort of maximize everything. Like you do 2 raids a week, 2 different raids. It's gonna be pretty busy.
Since we have, and in the end, since we have it down on hard, it's like pff, whatever now, because it's like whatever, totally got this.
Yeah, it's true.
It's like hard mode is now normal. It's like aha, suck it, suck it.
Wow, it's so different because I had played hard mode on Atheon once, and yeah, it was incredibly difficult. I think I was just like barely a tick into level 29, and I was like, wow. I don't know how you do this. And we had Gamer with us too, and he was level 30, and I think the rest of us were all 29. So we had 130 and everyone was 29, and I don't know how they got this checkpoint. It's like, oh, so we're just struggled for 2 hours. Like, yeah.
Dude, that is so funny because that's like exactly what happens with me and my West Coast dudes. It's like we had like basically after we had that epic moment with the Templar ending. Like, they got to the Gorgon lair, and then we got to the part where to, like, jump over them, and, like, I got lost. Well, I didn't get lost. I was at the jump, and I was like, dude, I haven't done this before. And they're like, just go back to Orbitech, and I was like, okay, I'll come back when you guys are through it. And then they, like, did it, and they came back. And then we got to Gatekeeper, and it's, like, 8 in the morning at this point. And, because, like, it's weird. Like, they always, like, message me when it's, like, Tuesday morning when, like, stuff resets, like, at the very moment. And I'm like, oh, dude, I just got off work, like, a couple hours ago. I haven't slept. Whatever.
Sleep is for the weak.
And then, that was crazy because it's like 8 a.m. I'm like, dude, I have not slept in like, it's been an effing long time. And then like, it's like the sun's coming up. I can see the effing sun, and it's just, the epic moment with the Timfire, it was just epic. I was just like, and then like that, just, So it's like, yeah. And then like with them, when we came back the next morning or morning, whatever, same thing, 12 a.m. And like we were, on that part of the Gatekeeper and Templar, Gatekeeper we did like pretty easy couple attempts, but Atheon, dude, oh my gosh, it took like an hour of just like like what you're doing. It's just it's like a matter of like having everything fall into place of like not getting killed when you're in the portals and not having any oracles not get killed or just stupid stuff that like doesn't go your way. It's just like and then I was in the normal group
glitching
with. Yeah, that too. Because it was weird. Like people would get like detained and then teleported into the portals, and they're like, "What the F is going on?" Like weird glitch crap happening. And then
that's still happening.
That happened once yesterday. I was like, "What?" I was like,
"Yeah, I was surprised yesterday. Like we didn't run into any glitches. I mean, granted, we got through Atheon really fast, so maybe there wasn't time.
There wasn't time.
Yeah, like it was. I think it was.
Yeah, we killed him super fast.
3.
In like 2 cycles.
2 or 3. Yeah, 2 or 3 cycles. It was insane. It was so fast.
And then but yeah, and then I was with some other friend. It's weird. I play the game so much that people on my friends list, I will see them when I'm in the tower, and I'll just like emote to them, and that happened. And then they like invited me into their raid, and then like so my Titan hasn't gone through it today or this week because we got stuck on Atheon. So I was in the. I have nothing to say, so I'm not going to say anything. But basically, I got in here from people that. Not as high quality as the people I usually play with, and yeah, stuck on Atheon for a while, and then people started belling and rage quitting. I was like, oh, well, that's the time taken, peace. And I was like, later, dudes. And I was like, oh, great, now I'm stuck on Atheon, but whatever, like, just, stuff like that happens, and it's just like, makes me more appreciative of the awesome people I play with that are awesome. So I was like,
Yeah, like, if the team was here, we could just go in, do that checkpoint, be like 10 minutes.
But yeah, it's kind of cool like how you progress in the game. It's like, I feel like I'm awesome when someone just like brings me into their raid team to be like, all right, we know you know what to do, so like we're gonna bring you on to like get us through here. Because I was like telling people like I was like the mystical guide of like, okay, this is where you do this and this is where you do that. It's like I felt like all awesome, and then we got to Aethon and we got wrecked, and I was like, I couldn't like it's like that's like what's I think is so cool about the raid though. It's like it is like the team composition. It's not like one person can like just pull you to victory like in Call of Duty. It's like your team composition. Everyone has to be on point and like know what they're doing. Like, and I think I'm even like on the point where I'm glad they like patched the people that are first away. It's random teleports. Like everybody has to like know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Just be like, oh, I'm just gonna stay out here and shoot supplicants. So Ah, yeah. Destiny,
Hey,
F the
that's an
haters. That's
important
why I gotta say
job.
that. F the effing haters. F them. Destiny. Still play it. Still awesome.
It's getting quite good too.
So yeah, I'm good at my Destiny this week. What I've been playing. I got some awesome weapons, but yeah, Mythic Last, delicious.
Have you used it?
No, I haven't used it yet. I'm just leveling it
Okay.
up. I'm like, I'm not even
Yeah, I
gonna use
got
it until it's fully upgraded.
2 Vision of Confluences in the 2 raids.
You're welcome.
I was like, oh, cool. I have, I only had 1 legendary scout rifle, and now I have 5 of them. I was like, and they're all different. And I was like, wow, this is kind of cool.
It's actually funny, like the way I play is I'll give every character something to level up, and then like I'll just be giving my, or like as I'm playing I'll just be like, okay, this gun feels this way, and then like I had the last works, that's what Zer had this week, and I was like, ooh, I don't really like this gun, so I just put it back in the vault. I fully leveled it. It's not completely upgraded, but like even if I did, I was like, ooh, they're not really feeling this one compared to Hawk Moon or the Devil I Know that I have. I was like, not me, so I just put it back in the vault.
Man. So I'm noticing, like, I used to think that I sort of understood games really quickly and then just never improved. And so if I started playing a game early on, I would be good in the beginning relative to other players, and then I would just like drop off and be near the bottom of the scoreboards. Destiny, I feel like I'm actually getting better at the game. It's weird because that doesn't usually happen to me. But yeah, like recently I've noticed on the scoreboard in Crucible, most of the time I will be at the top of my team. And it's like, huh. And I'll have like 4,000 or 5,000 points. And like, that is a fourth of the points that you need to get.
Tropical carries his backpack with him when he goes in the Crucible, so he can carry his whole team. So yeah, I got this, guys.
I was like, wow, I think I might actually be good at this game. It's like, oh, this is cool. I've never been good at a game before. And people always ask me, like, oh, you play a lot of games. Like, what are you good at? And I'll sit there and be like,
That's a good question.
Yeah, I could never think of anything. Like, I don't think I'm good at any games.
Oh, cool. That just made me like think of another middle question or like a question for the question segment this week. It's just a simple question. It's not something super crazy.
But I love crazy.
Yeah, I was like, I have never had an answer, and I think now, I don't know. I'll give it a few months because it's still actually pretty close to launch. But I might say Destiny in the future if this continues.
I think that's like another thing is like if everything hadn't gotten delayed, I wonder if I would have been playing this game as much, because like I've been kind of like I've kind of been like teeter-tottering on like, dude, I need something to play, but then I'll just keep going back to Destiny anyway, because I've actually been able to balance it now and to be like, oh, I guess I can play 2 games at once. So I followed that with Far Cry because I finished that actually. So I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I can keep cracking down on Destiny and still play games. So yeah, problem solved.
So I think there's a difference. Destiny is all about the activity itself. It's all about playing the game. Whereas before, a lot of your other games, it's about story and
yeah,
narrative.
like I was about to bring up the analogy I made earlier. It's like, there's a story to play through, but like after you play through the story in Destiny, it's like, well, you don't really want to do that ever again. Well, I mean, not ever again, but like you don't need to do it again because
you're right the first time.
You do like the daily missions anyway, so
yeah, like it is more like a fun task almost, and then
like the real meat of the game is
actually
just like the weekly resets and then going in to do crazy stuff with your characters to see if you can do it. Because I got joined by like 2 of my West Coast dudes when I was in my nightfalling. So I was like trying to solo, and they're like, "You're trying to solo it, dude? You're crazy." And I was like, "Hey, I've done it before." that's how I had to like test my skills to make sure I'm still up there. I was like,
The Nightfall is pretty easy this week, I think, though. The solar burn helps so much.
I think that's one of the things I like about the Nightfall. Now, I used to like hate them, like back when I couldn't do them. I was like, I'm not high enough level. Like back when I was just like angry about it all the time. But now I'm like, it's actually just fun to just go in and like see what the modifications are to just do crazy damage.
Because everyone I know has Icebreaker.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. Just shooting Nexus.
Yeah.
With Icebreaker. doing a ton of damage.
I don't have icebreaker.
It's funny.
Well, RPG,
Oh,
whose
now
fault is that?
Well, I told
Probably
Gamer
the
I
random
refused
drop
to
system.
buy it. Well, no,
Oh,
because
right.
Sir
It was
was
at
selling
Xur.
it, and he's like, just buy it. I was like, no, I refuse, because everyone already did. So I was like, nah. So I didn't.
See, RPG, you didn't buy one, and you got the Galahorn, so I think, you know, it was your destiny. Ah, ha, ha.
Ew, ew. You know how I feel about puns. Ugh.
Yeah, Destiny. I think it's going to get better and better. I hope it's not Destiny 2 that they meant, like, literally,
Yeah, me
for their
too.
investors. I hope it's like Destiny 2 is basically 10 new expansion packs, and
It's
they
not.
cost less than a full game. Hopefully.
That would be interesting. It's like,
One can hope.
yeah, it's like they're not going to release it. That would be really crazy because, like, yeah, it'd be so different, like, compared to what, like, you see from a normal game. It's like, yeah, we're not
No.
going to release a sequel. We're going to release expansions.
I mean, they are under the banner of the same company that has World of Warcraft, and that's what World of Warcraft has done for a decade. Only recently did they decide, you know what, we're gonna make the game like look way better now, and it's not they're not selling World of Warcraft 2. They're just upgrading everyone's copy of World of Warcraft, and then saying, hey, there's a new expansion, and plus everything looks awesome now, like modern. That's cool. I hope they do something like that. I'd be okay with that.
So who wants to go next and what they've been playing?
Wait, have you only been playing Destiny?
No, I've been playing other stuff. If you want me to continue, I can continue.
Oh, I thought you were going first in the first place. That's why you were.
Well, Tropical Mission Destiny,
we-
so we just piled on, like, you know, every week.
Yes. We always have the Destiny tag team. Although now RPG doesn't have it as much, so
Sorry. I don't know. I just, like I said, once I had other stuff to play, I was kind of just like, I don't really have to play Destiny. So
well, in that case, let's go into that other stuff since you were left out of the Destiny extravaganza, weekly extravaganza.
I don't wanna.
Did you start Infamous or did you get very far?
I'm not going.
Okay, fine. Jeez.
I couldn't tell if it was, or if it was one of those. Are you there? No. Are you there? No. The stream knows what I'm talking about.
It does.
So yeah, Dragon's Crown. At first I was just grinding to get higher level, but then I actually finally started doing the missions to get the talismans to get the second dragon, and so I'm doing that now. But today I just switched out memory cards and I put Final Fantasy 10 on it because it's like, the crazy time of the year if you work in retail. I'm like, dude, I gotta have my happy place I go to, and Final Fantasy 10 is like one of my favorite Final Fantasies, and so it's gonna help me get through the year or the rest of the year and the craziness. So we'll see how that goes. I haven't started yet.
I almost bought it because it was like on
I
sale.
know. I almost bought the
and
PS2 version. But I was
I
like,
should buy it.
I can't do it.
It's like I already own it. Stop it. Stop it.
Like, I had the
Wait,
Vita
was the
version.
Vita version cheap?
They
It
were
was,
both
or
20.
they both were.
Oh, really? Dang it.
Because it was cheap before. That's why I bought it. Because I was like, oh, it's either 15 or 20 on Vita, and like PS3, I was like, I almost bought it, but I was like, I already have it on a PS2.
Okay.
I don't need the console one because I already have it on console.
I have it on PS3. 20 would not be cheap enough yet for the Vita version
Oh, if you already have it, then
for me because I already have one.
Yeah.
It's got to be lower than that.
I almost bought it, but I was like, no. I already have the PS2 version of both of them. I shouldn't do it.
Yeah, I think my thing is like if I see it on a handheld that I have, it's like it's like, oh, I can get excited Chrono Trigger on PS1, but it's like, it's on DS, so it's like I can play it anywhere now. Haha, I'm not tethered by the umbilical cord of a controller to the console. But
You could be.
that would be a very interesting experience actually if it worked that way. If I could just umbilical cord myself to a console and play, but I'd rather have bodysuit, just saying, without the umbilical cord. Yeah.
You in
But,
that bodysuit.
Actually, okay, as we're in Aimless, we're kind of like, on the cart right now. I'll just say whatever. Aimless Ocean Valley.
You're on the
whatever,
cart.
where we're going.
What?
We're going down a cart ride. It's like a they put rails on the hill and we're going down it in the RPG. Woo!
Ah,
But
I see.
would it be possible for them to put like Project Morpheus support into like games that are already on PS4? If like they do that, can they do that? Because I was playing Far Cry and I was like, dude. If as I had my dude moment, I was like, dude, Far Cry 4 in the mountains, VR. Oh my gosh, that would be awesome.
I mean, like they could, but chances are they won't.
Eh.
I mean, a lot of it is they're saying, certain things that work in 2D don't work in VR. And so, like, just the way that Far Cry is built might not actually be suitable. They could do things like head tracking, and so you look in the direction that you want to look at, but then they have to solve the issues like, well, does the gun is it attached to your face and it just follows you like in the regular game, or how is that going to work there?
Attached to your face. Yes.
You have a gun nose. It's like Grindhouse Rudolph.
So I was like thinking about VR one day, and I was like, man, when are we gonna see some more Project Morpheus stuff? Hopefully at PlayStation Experience. And I was like, oh man, what if they could just like not recalibrate it, but just like put the support in every game that's already on PS4, and then every FPS has Project Morpheus mode or something. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, they're
or like man, GTA. Oh my gosh, that's what it was. That's what it was. That's what it was. 'Cause I was like, dude, because like I was playing Far Cry, and like Far Cry's like always been like the awesome. We're not three. Three really did a really good job of like the whole like your limbs are limbs, and like you look around and like more immersion. And then like 4 I was playing. I was like GTA like came out around the same time. I was like FGTA, but then it's like first person mode. If it had Project Morpheus, and my mind was blown, and I was like, oh dude, that would be like, oh yeah, just
maybe. There's like, yeah.
It's like
it can only go so far, because what they've talked about mostly with VR is like presence, and a lot of games aren't designed around that right now. So it would be like partially a VR experience.
Yeah, because like the first person mode in like GTA is kind of weird looking, and like Far Cry is like so near perfect, and I was like, ugh, if only like Far Cry or like they could like have Far Cry people do the first person mode of GTA, it'd be super awesome. But then it wouldn't be the same. So whatever. But yeah, speaking of Far Cry, that wasn't in the game. I was playing. I did finish it already, so that was weird. I don't know if I got through it that fast on 3. Probably not, because there's probably other stuff that didn't get delayed that year, just saying. But hey, whatever, I can go back to this dude now, so yay. But yeah, just if you like 3, you'll like 4, because it's basically extremely similar with like everything improved. I'm not gonna say Borderlands 2 syndrome, because it was like, I don't know, man. Like it's I don't know, man. The narrative, it's like whatever. It's you just got to go with it. It's there are some cool parts though with like the Shangri-La, and like you go to this mystical place and there's a tiger and stuff happens. It's pretty awesome, because there's this part where I'm not gonna say anything else, but it's very mystical and stuff. And yeah, I was like, oh dude, I'm all up in the Shangri-La, and yeah. I'm all up in the Shangri-La.
Wow.
That's what Ticket's shirt's gonna say. I'm all up in the Shangri-La. Aimless Babble Z.
Let's do it.
But yeah. It seems like there's a lot of cool like it's weird because it's like it gives you a bunch of choices, but it doesn't seem like any of them matter. But it's like you get a bunch of like different like branching paths of like stuff that happens and stuff that doesn't happen. And like the ending was like that, and it was really cool what I got. But I was like, but there's no like, it doesn't feel like this is going to be a continuation ever. So it's like, this is just the end. And I was like, oh, I kind of felt let down, but it's like pretty cool like what my ending was. So that's pretty cool. Oh, it does a cool thing where it's like a Telltale game of like the choice of like you're presented with a choice, but like that there's like a consequence. So it's like if you don't do what they want you, what you think they want you to do, something happens, and you're like, oh, it was like a non-choice of like if you don't choose, you get a choice. So it's like that was pretty cool what they did. It's like a more nuanced approach to choice of like them being binary of like push X to do this or push Y to do this. It's like you just gotta go with it. It's pretty cool.
That sounds
RPG. Oh, okay. Oh, Shadow Mordor dudes. Dudes. Okay, so,
Okay.
when did I buy this game? Oh, yeah, okay, so Black Friday happened.
I'm assuming Black Friday.
And it was like $25. And then, like, at first, when I got off work, I was, like, trying to find it. And, like, I went over to, like, the giant, like, all the destroyed displays of, like, oh, I wonder if it's over somewhere. Dirt. And, like, looking around and stuff. And then, it wasn't over there. And I was like, I really wanted that game. I guess if I really wanted to, I can just walk over to the electronics section. But I was like thinking it was gonna be super crowded, and I was like, if it's super crowded, I won't go over there. But it wasn't, and I was like, oh. So I just went to look over at the game case, and there's like 2 copies left. And I was like, oh, I gotta get it. And then like, so I like got someone to get it for me. And I was like, yes, I got it. It's like I was like touchdown, because I know I very rarely I feel like I get well, I guess it's still like a new experience for me like when I work Black Friday and like I get out to see if there's like still stuff there to like buy. But it seems like I guess 2 out of 3. I don't think I got anything last year. Oh wait, no, so I got something the other day, the day after. It wasn't the same day, but then I got XCOM the year before, so 2 out of 3, whatever. But yeah, this game pretty much it's weird. I feel like this is like going to be like the way a lot of games are this console generation, possibly, if they don't have like developers that like have a really awesome story that they want to tell. They're just like all the awesome mechanics of games that have already been like coming out into it, because it's basically Assassin's Creed meets Batman.
Yeah, because when I saw you playing it, I was like, this looks very similar to like Assassin's Creed. But
and it's M-rated, so it's like, yeah, you don't just like knock dudes out, you cut their effing heads off and like shank them, and it's effing brutal and effing awesome. Because I like the first time I killed a dude, or no, the first time I grabbed a dude, it was like push square to shank. I was like, I get to kill people, and like, dude, it was just like, it was just like all the like bad things you want to do. Well, I guess I don't want to do them in Batman.
Wow.
But it's like all the bad things you could do in
not healthy
Batman,
at all.
and they like introduce it into this game. It's like, this is like my naughty adult childhood playground that I never thought I wanted to go to, but I want to go to, and like I get to go to, and it's cool because like all the things you kill are like they're not human. It's like orcs and Uruk-hai, so it's like, haha, I just cut your head off. You're orc, haha, and you're not human. I don't feel no much for you because you're evil. You're evil, all up in your evil. Oh, and just cut your head off, yeah. And then you get to shoot dudes with arrows and get headshots with arrows. And oh, dudes, this game. Okay, today. Okay, like in the Batman beatdowns, when like you push circle and then square to just like beat the dudes down and like knock them unconscious and like just knock them out, it just doesn't do anything. It's like whatever, you just punch them. In this game, oh my gosh, I just got this upgrade where it's like you do that, and then like the kill blow is like he grabs their head and crushes it, and it explodes. It's like holy crap! It's like this game is, yeah, this is gonna be a weird console generation. Like the amount of violence and like photorealism that we have, because like when you're cutting heads off in this game, it looks really detailed and just like, yeah, and like, borderline disturbing if you're not playing for fun. But hey man, I was like, whoa, look at that head fly, because woo. And oh, that's everything. This game looks amazing. It looks amazing. Like the graphics, oh my gosh, like, oh, it's like, okay, so like the towers in Assassin's Creed that you have like the eagle towers to get more of the map. In this one, you have the forge towers where it's like he'll hit his forge thingy on a hammer and just like go dong. I said it, sorry. And then it'll like unlock a portion of the map. And then,
just like
oh my gosh, it's so cool. Like when you're sitting up there, sometimes when like it's night and like the weather effects are on and it's raining, it doesn't just rain. Sometimes it's even effing hailing. It's like it looks so good. It looks so good. I cannot express this enough, but it looks amazing. Like the graphics are just like,
does it look amazing?
It looks amazing. I appreciate it. And like, I dare say the best graphics in my life I've ever seen. It's just like, just the PlayStation 4. PlayStation 4. That's what I say. PlayStation 4. PlayStation 4. Because
just like that, huh?
yes, just the hailstones just crashing down on your feet, and just and like the sky and the lightning, and just this game just and then,
Oh my.
I hadn't even started about the Nemesis system. Oh my god, this game. Like if I could go back in time like 2 months and punch myself in the face, I would, because I'd be like, Tekken, you stupid fool. Pick this game up day one, and just and like told myself, go pick it up day one, because that's why I came back to punch you in the face, stupid. And then
It's not very nice at all.
yeah, it's man, it's so cool. It's I haven't even unlocked like all the stuff you can do, but it's like it's so cool. You can like, because like the tutorial mode is basically a mission that you do with this dude named Rotbag or something, and he starts out as like a slave, and you free him, and he's like, dude, don't kill me, and like, I'll work for you, dude, just like, get me to the top. and I'll like get you to the Black Hand or Black Order, whatever you're looking for, or story, whatever. And then and then it's like as you go through, you're taking down dudes up like that are higher up, and he gets higher up, and then you just like keep on like the machinations of Sauron's army, and you're just going through and just like wrecking shop on all these dudes, and then killing them all, and then like he's moving up, and then like you get the dudes. Okay, so okay, today RPG was watching, and I got this thingy where it's like I put him as an underling, like he was a bodyguard dude for one of the war chiefs, which is like the top dudes, and so he's about to he like frees him, and then he's like our deal's over, but he's like dude, no way, dude, like if you like cut this next deal with me, I'll totally like sell out the war chief to you and stuff, dude. It's totally gonna be awesome. And it was funny because he does it, and like he killed this dude who you think is the war chief, but it's not because he's got a twin brother. so it's like he comes back with like his ear chopped off because that's like what he's been doing, is like chopping off dudes' ears or orc dudes' ears to like come back and be like, haha, I killed him. And so he comes back with that one, but he's like about to get executed, and you're like have to save him, and then be like, oh, well that was his twin brother. It's actually the other dude that was the war chief. And then
It was
so you have to fight that dude, and then kill him, and then he gets put with the war chief. But I haven't got like to see like what happens after he gets to the war chief part. So that's pretty funny. That's a cool tutorial though too, because like he just like it like shows you like through the ranks of like how orc society works, and just that was cool too. It's just this game is amazing. It's just so good. It's just like the detail of just like I didn't even expect them to like to go into orc society and be like, oh well, there are the worms, and they're the slaves, and then you have the captains, and then you have the dudes above them, and then you have like the war chief, but they have bodyguards, and it's like you can even get to the bodyguards and take them out to make the war chief easier to kill. And it's like, oh my god, And then like the story missions I played like 2 or 3, and then like guess who was in it? It was precious Gollum, and I was like, oh, I lost it. I was like, dude, this game is awesome. Just like and then he sang a song, and I was laughing. It was incredible. It was effing incredible and like hilarious. I have it on stream, dude. I'm gonna put a highlight of it, like Gollum singing the song. It's like you had to like stealthily like go with him as you're killing dudes, and this game. It's like, you believe the hype, dude. Like, that's why I tweeted out. I was like, dude, this game is for reals. Like, it's awesome. And I put that share button thingy of, like, I killed the dude and then, like, got into, like, a giant fight and, like, a giant combo, killed a bunch of dudes. It's like, this game is, like, it's, like, it's got even more of an open world than Arkham City. So it's, like, even bigger and just, like, and just the combat is as good. Okay, it's like maybe like a notch below, but it's like whatever, dude. It's like almost as good. It's like whatever, like good enough, like effing good enough. It's effing Batman, like M rated, just killing dudes and this is yeah. Christmas came early. Shadow of Mordor. That's all I gotta say. And music is awesome too. And like yeah, like when you're in the music, I mean menu, and like do stuff's going down, and then like you get skills and abilities, RPG elements. This game. I can't. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop. I'm just gonna stop because like I've been gritting over this game for like however long, but yeah, effing Shadow of Mordor is effing for real, effing legit, effing awesome, effing play it, dudes and ladies of the internet, because yeah, Shadow of Mordor, PS4, that's all I gotta say. But just looks so good. Next gen has arrived. It happened. We got our awesome next gen game in the second year. Yeah, it's like I believe in the launch window that is 12 months big. Who cares? Whatever. You can have awesome games like this.
The launch garage.
Oh yeah. Park your Shadow of Mordor all up in that launch garage. And be like, yeah. Vision Fall. Besides that, I think that's all I've been playing. Wait a minute. No, I finished Counter Spy. Oh, I played a bit of Dust, but haven't gone back to it. That's my that's my new palate cleanse game if I get too crazy in Destiny, too angry again, and I have to go, do like I did on Counter Spy and be like chill out here and play this indie game that's fun and happy and pretty and stuff. But I believe that is all I've been playing. But yeah, dudes. Yeah, Shadow Mordor. For reals.
For reals?
Yes.
It's awesome.
I guess it's pretty
From
cool.
what I've seen.
I guess it's pretty cool though that like it does continue the trend of awesome third-party games. Yeah, being like as good as first party, or they can also like highlight the awesomeness of a console.
I was almost tempted to buy it too, but I was like, I don't really like Lord of the Rings, so I probably shouldn't. So.
Yeah, that's what it was. I was like, dude, I'm kind of burnt. I've been burnt on a fantasy. I don't know for how long. I was like, I just stay away from games like that where it's just, orcs knows, blah, blah, blah. But this one, feels mean, it is so good. Yes, yes, so good. So
Is
good.
it because of all the violence? Is that what
Yes,
it
that's
is?
one of the things. Because like I was thinking, that's like in my brain. I was like, oh, it plays like Batman. But then after I got that first kill and that first taste of blood, yep, and yeah, Piranha.
We should
happened.
probably get taken like a psychiatrist or
And she's
something.
like,
I'm concerned.
She's like, oh, I can't wait to do more. And just like, oh, it's like cool because you get like the stealthiness of a Splinter Cell too, because you can sneak up on dudes and just jack them. Just like, yeah, gotcha. And like, yeah, he's dead. Ah, it's so good.
Oh my.
But yeah, that's all I'm playing. I'm pretty sure. I bought some stuff. I think that's what it is. I bought some stuff. I haven't played it yet though, because there was a flash sale on PSN for Black Friday.
Flash sale.
So who's going next?
Tropical said he'd love to.
What is happening over there? Anyway, yeah, this
Stuff.
week was the release of Secret Ponchos final release. So I was like, oh, I was in the early access for this, and it was clearly early access, so I didn't play it that much on Steam. But now that the final version was out, okay, I'm pretty excited about the game. I want to see what it's like, and I started playing it. Sadly, so I think it's smart that it's a free PlayStation Plus game, because that means more people will probably, hopefully, play it. Because sadly, in the daytime, it is very hard to find people playing. And it's another one of the examples of games that are online that aren't working that well. Because apparently there's some sort of bug, and I ran into this yesterday, where if you're not playing one of the 8-player modes, there's a chance that your game will just sort of hang, and then you will lose your character. So that happened to me. That's okay, because now my win record is 100% out of
Wait. So you'll
7
permanently
games.
lose your character that you had built up or something?
Yeah, basically.
Oh.
But it's only day 2, so I don't think anyone has a really built-up character.
That is true.
Yeah, like I haven't seen anyone that built up. But yeah, it's really neat. It's it kind of reminds me. I guess Diablo 3 was supposed to have a PvP mode, and then they never made it, or they made a really simple version of it. It's like that, except you have far fewer skills, but you have like the few skills that you have are interesting enough that you can actually fight strategically in the game. So basically you have, and I haven't played most of the characters, so the character I picked is I think his name is Red. He's like this little guy with 2 pistols, and he runs around really fast. And so you have the 2 pistols, and then dynamite is your other weapon. And basically, with the right stick, you can point where you want to throw the dynamite and throw it out there. And after a little while, it explodes, and hopefully you can hit someone with it. But there's a dodge button, and so oftentimes, unless you trick someone into running there, or they just happen to be hiding and they don't see it, you don't really hit anyone with the dynamite. Then there are, with the 2 pistols, you have 2 different firing modes. So one is you fire each one alternating, and so you have 12 shots. Usually use that for damage because it shoots a bit further and you can shoot a lot faster. Then you can also shoot both pistols simultaneously, and that stuns whoever you hit. So you aim at the right stick, you fire with the triggers, and yeah, it's a really strategic game about like positioning. And what I've been doing a lot is I'll run, and people, again, I think this is one of those situations where people just don't know how to play the game yet. So people will be firing like crazy, like Call of Duty players would do, and then they have no bullets. And this is the Old West, so it takes a while to reload your guns. And so I'll run up to guys and like dodge their shots, and then they'll have no bullets left, and they'll be reloading. And that's when I use my dual pistols and stun them, and then switch to single pistol fire mode, and then just like kill them that way. It's it's really interesting. It's there's like seven, I think, different characters, and each one has their own different, their range is different, different abilities, and I think so far, like the only strategy I figured out is, yeah, if you stun them first, then they can't really do anything, and then you can just unload on them. And I don't think people have figured that strategy out yet, so we will see how it turns out. Today is what, the second day that it's been out.
So do you have like a health bar, or do you have like a certain amount of hits you can take before
Yep,
you die?
you have a health bar, and like, yeah, everyone's like weapons are different. So some have a little bit of spread, some shoot really long range. There's like this big guy with a rifle who he can charge at you, and that's how he stuns you. There's another cool feature that I just saw earlier today. If you like hold down what would be the aim trigger on most other games, you can like lean up against walls, and then you actually become invisible. So they don't know that you're there until they run around to the other side of the wall. And so you can do things like, just like hide there and then wait for people to run by. And then the moment they see you, you can use your stun gun and then switch to single pistols and like take them out that way. Today I started trying out the 4-on-4 mode. I was playing mostly free for all, and I was like, wow, I'm doing really good here. So let's try ranked 4-on-4. Let's do it. And yeah, the strategy is entirely different because there is friendly fire.
Yeah.
So I accidentally bombed one of my own guys just one time, and I tried to save him. I wasn't really sure how I was gonna do it, but in the end, we both got stunned. I was like, "Uh-oh, we're gonna die." But yeah, it's really neat because then you can do things like if you see one person hiding on your team and he's like hiding behind cover, you can sort of chase enemies towards your teammates, and then they can pop out, and you can like pincer attack them. It's like, oh, this game is pretty awesome. So yeah, hoping to see more people playing that. So far I don't think anyone on my friends list downloaded it.
I downloaded it, but not played it.
Come on, play it. What was the other one? So yeah, I played some of that a little bit. I picked up Tales from the Borderlands, the new Telltale game.
Okay, Chapter, I have a question about this one. Is it basically like the formula that they've been using for every other game not every other game, but like for like Walking Dead and Wolf Among Us, like basically, go through puzzle stuff and then investigatory stuff and then choices, pretty much. But like Borderlands setting. Or is this one like, and then like is the tone like super comedy compared to like the super serious dramatic of the other two I just named?
It like the tone fits Borderlands.
Okay.
Like it
So
feels a
like
lot like
weird
Borderlands.
Whimsiness.
Yeah, so like there is whimsical stuff and there is sort of the funny stuff, but then there's also like what happens to Bloodwing in Borderlands 2, and there's like other parts, and they manage that tone really well. The story is actually pretty interesting. Like, I didn't know what to expect. I was sort of thinking, Borderlands 2, I really liked the writing in that one. Like that's why I liked Borderlands 2 so much more than Borderlands 1. It was like the writing just made the entire game just way more entertaining to me. So that's what sort of convinced me that, okay, this is other people, but they did work together. So yeah, I like the story. Like Tekken was talking about.
I love Borderlands too. Like I think they.
But you like the
Handsome Jack
leveling
like,
up.
I know. I'm like aside from like the gameplay though, I think I agree with you like on the narrative of like they did a really good job with Handsome Jack of like how he just like would antagonize you the whole effing time. But then I think they did they did like a perfect job of like the climax of the game, but like I think the payoff wasn't like as good as like you like would have wanted it to be. But it's like whatever, dude. Like they did a good job of like him just like giving you the middle finger the whole effing time and just be like, just effing Handsome Jack, man, like that whole time. Just that guy. I hated him. That's why I don't want to play pre-sequel because like he's in it. And I was like, I hate that guy.
He seems nice.
Like they did such a good job. I can't play pre-sequel because it's like, oh, that douchebag.
Well, Tales from the Borderlands takes place after Borderlands 2,
Ah, yes.
and
Okay.
it's quite a, I don't know how, or not that much longer after, because you do see there is at least one familiar character from Borderlands 2. It's like, oh, um, but it's a very. I'm trying to answer the first question. Is it like? I think it's more like. To me, it reminds me more of like the first episode of Walking Dead season 1,
It's like
where
an introduction. Then
yeah, so like there are those elements that you talked about. Well, so the thing that first convinced me about Walking Dead was that one scene where it shows Lee and he's in the kitchen, right? And then
Yeah,
that
that's a great
the
scene.
zombie comes out, and then there's like the sort of fight scene. And I was like, wow, there is a fighting scene in a Telltale game. Like before that, it was like Monkey Island and Sam and Max. And I was like, there are not really any, like action sequences like that. And so Tales from Borderlands is like there's even a bit more action, but it's sort of different. So it's like the premise is you play two characters. One of the
Here's a weird thing I
characters
forgot to ask about. I was like, yeah, how does that work?
you just like switch between them. It fits into the narrative, and
Okay.
they did it in a way that's I don't know. It flows really smoothly, and yeah, the game is quite funny. But yeah, like one of the characters you play, played by Troy Baker, he is he's working at Hyperion, and like after Handsome Jack disappeared, there's sort of power struggle going on inside the corporation, and so he some stuff happens to him, and he's not happy, and so he's trying to like get retribution basically. And then the other character is she's like a con artist since very young. And
Okay, so is like she like born and raised on Pandora, or is she like from Offworld too?
she's from Pandora.
Okay, that's cool. That's like a cool dynamic.
Yeah, it's funny. Like you never, because we've always been
Yeah.
people on
Like, Vault
Pandora.
hunters like are not from there, so it's like I wonder like how
Yeah,
someone from there would like be if they
but
were
like
there from birth because they're always weird. Or like what's that like a character like that?
but like the Hyperion employees, they view Pandora as this just dangerous backwater, but like poor people type place. So they sort of go there as like, oh, yes, we're afraid of you, but we also look down on you. And so like neither of them is a fighter, so that you don't have action sequences like that. But for example, Hyperion has the loader bots, so there is a loader bot action sequence, but it's your loader bot. And so there's like choices involved there, and then there's like the action stuff that you expect from their Telltale games.
I think I'm gonna like describe the Telltale action sequences as like a alternate tank style Resident Evil control because it's like it's not as fluid as you would want it to be, but it is like it like kind of makes you feel the tension when you're in those moments because it's so
Yeah.
cumbersome. Because man, Walking
Um,
Dead, dude, it's just like I'll eat.
Then they added a thing where, so sort of Borderlands-ish stuff. So the Hyperion guy that you play as, he is sort of cybernetically enhanced. He has this eye that you can use to scan the environment. And so it brings up, very Borderlands-looking interfaces. Then they tell you stuff about things in the environment. Um,
Crap, I forgot to
and then
change
there's
the
actually
picture.
Wait, what's
Sorry.
going
Oh, and I forgot to change the picture on the stream to Borderlands or
Oh.
it's still on Secret Ponchos.
But the other thing, there you can actually find loot like money and shields and stuff like that, and those play into the game as well. It's an interesting mix of Borderlands and Telltale type stuff.
Oh wait, is Oh, wait, this is this a collaboration or is it just Telltale doing a game from their universe? I thought that was a collaboration, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, so I
if
guess it
you
makes sense
own
that
the
there's.
IP, you're always going to be involved. Someone described it as like, oh yeah, like this proves how awesome like professional fan fiction can be. Yeah, some of the sequences are really funny.
Oh man,
I guess I don't want to say too much about it, but it's just like I really enjoyed it. I didn't know what to expect. I was sort of thinking, like Telltale, Walking Dead, I really liked. Wolf Among Us, that was really good. But they have had misses, so this isn't a sure thing. But then I was sort of curious, like, well, this is basically one of their first PS4 games, so that's something to see. I haven't seen one of those yet. And then Borderlands 2, yeah, like besides the gameplay, I mostly liked the writing in that one. So I was like, okay, let's check this out. Checked it out. I was like, wow, I am interested in seeing what's going to happen because how they end their their episodes. Like, wow, I'm looking forward to the next one. And
So it also has like a stat bar of like who chose what at the end too.
yep,
Oh
yep,
man.
man, I'm like way different than most people.
Weirdo.
But yeah, I was like, wow, the story, the writing was really good. It's like, all right, I'm on board. I will actually give your Game of Thrones a chance because you guys are on a roll.
See, that's the thing. I wanted to put blind faith in them, but I was like, I don't know. I don't really care about Game of Thrones and Borderlands, but not first person. How's that going to work?
There's very little actually walking around. There's like only a few sections where you're walking around, like in The Walking Dead. It's mostly like you get into the quote unquote the action like pretty quickly and often. And that includes like dialogue, like dialogue as action. There's very little sort of the wandering around part that Walking Dead had. It's good. I would- I don't know how it's gonna turn out, but yeah, the first one was like, that was better than I expected.
Yeah, I think I'll wait until the full season on these two because it's like at the end of the day, I can always just get them when the full season's out, and usually it's like a
Yeah,
couple months old.
it's probably a better idea because
I'm
the season
surprised Game of
passes
Thrones
usually
is
go.
out. Actually, that's kind of
Yeah, I know.
insane.
It's like
I
this
thought
and
it
Game of
would
Thrones are both
be
out at the same time,
yeah.
and
I
that's
thought it would
coming
be
off of
much
two games
later.
last year, which is crazy. So it's like it looks like they do have their stuff together to get this.
Maybe they were just trying to distract people so you can wait longer for Walking Dead season 3.
that
It's like,
might be
you
what it
never
is.
know.
And last Wolf Among Us 2.
Oh man, see, it's like that is what it's going to be for me. Is like the years when we have those two like just parallel and like yeah, those are going to be the best because it's like those are oh man, it's just, especially the ending on Wolf Among Us. Oh my god, yeah. It's like I don't know what happened. That's why I don't watch TV shows every day.
That's why you're
Leave
supposed
you on
to
the
watch
hook.
TV shows. That's
Leave
kind of
you
the
on the
point. That's the whole point of watching them.
Apparently, Tales from the Borderlands is going to unlock stuff in Borderlands the pre-sequel.
That's
Which is
weird.
weird.
Why would it do that?
I don't know how it's going to work, but they said, yeah, eventually pre-sequel is going to get patched, and then you can unlock stuff in Tales from the Borderlands for pre-sequel.
So maybe
But
PS4 version.
It's a prequel, though. Why would they? How would that work? Because
Yeah,
Yeah, that is weird.
I don't think it's. I hope. Well, so I'm wondering if Tiny Tina will appear in Tales from the Borderlands.
Oh,
she's
dude.
great.
And she was very popular,
Yeah.
and yeah, they've already shown it's like, oh, there are going to be some guest appearances. So
Well, I guess that's one reason I would want to play this game is like to see like what happens after 2 because there was some like well even though
Yeah.
like there was like some post 2 DLC for Borderlands 2 it's like they didn't it was too lighthearted to be like oh this is like more it's just more
Well, I mean, Borderlands is a relatively lighthearted series, though. So, I mean, it's not too surprising. Although that's what kind of made me curious about the Tales of the Borderlands one, because it's like it's not probably not as dramatic as the other two properties that they did. So I'm like curious as to how
Mm.
the episodes ended or something. Because did they do something like really dramatic at the end, or was it just like kind of like
Yeah, it's dramatic for people who have played some of the other games. If you haven't, like, if you know nothing about Borderlands, it may not be that dramatic.
hmm,
I was just remembering some of the parts that I thought were really funny because, like, in the Borderlands like proper games, your only interactions with psychos and stuff is you shoot them and they die, and sometimes you hear stuff that they're saying. In this, you get to interact with some of the psychos, and it's just like
dear?
it is the weirdest stuff.
Now I kind of want to play just for that. 'Cause the psychos they're yeah. Yeah.
Like the conversations are just like, what are we talking about?
Oh man.
It's hilarious.
Hmm.
All right. I picked up Geometry Wars 3, I think was the other one, because I played it at PAX. I was like, oh, this game, or I don't know. I like those kind of games. Arcade, point type games. It's really pretty. I don't know what to think about it yet. It's structured entirely differently than what you would think of with Geometry Wars. It's like there's a level progression system. As every level is a different shape. So they've taken it further, whereas I think I didn't play the second one. The first one, everything takes place on this grid plane, right? And then the grid deforms and stuff as explosions happen, and that was sort of their visual signature. In this one, the planes are not just flat planes. Some of them are twisted, some have holes in them. Sometimes it's an entire there are levels that are spheres. There's one shaped like a pill shape. There's just like tons of different shapes for the different levels, and then there are boss fights, and it is a very different game than the other ones. Yeah, I guess I don't have much to say about that one. Just that I played it, and it is different. And yeah, I too bought other stuff, but I haven't played them yet. So on to RPG.
But I don't wanna.
On to the questions.
Just kidding. But okay. So been playing Little Big Planet 3. I unlocked all the characters now at this point, so it's I guess it's just a matter of just playing through the rest of the story, maybe. Because yeah, I guess there's still more stuff to go on after that.
I thought that was pretty short.
I think it probably is, because it seemed like the adventure almost seemed like it's mostly just unlocking the characters, because if it's just to beat all the Titans, you beat one every time you unlock a character, since that was the quote-unquote hero that beat them in the first place. So if that's the case, then it probably is relatively short. So I'm probably coming towards the end game now anyway, because I just unlocked Swoop. So then there's that. I've played some of the community levels and stuff, and just been doing like challenge rooms and everything. And I played online with one person like once, and that was pretty much it. Because I was like, I don't know if anybody on my friends list actually has this game, so I can't play with anyone. Oh right. But you couldn't you not like install it at one point or something? No.
Oh yeah, you got.
Oh yeah, so I finally got space. What happened was I tried to play Blacklight Retribution, and then it said, "Oh, you need to patch it." I was like, "Oh, that's right, because it's an online game and free to play, and so obviously it's getting patched all the time." And then it said, "You don't have enough space for the patch." I was like, "Well, in that case, I don't really need this on my hard drive then, huh? Because I can't play it.
I'll show you game.
So I deleted that. I was like, yay!
You showed
Get
them.
me some Little Big Planet.
But yeah, because I haven't gone back through the levels that require multiple people to do certain parts yet. So I haven't really been able to do that stuff because, like I said, I didn't really see anybody on my friends list playing it. So yeah, but I enjoyed it so far. Anyway, I haven't played like a lot of it in the past week, but yeah, after I unlocked Swoop, I kind of just fooled around with stuff and did like the pop-it challenge. Their pop-it, is that what that thing's called? That thing, the pop-up power challenges thingies, because it's like the little puzzle thingies that they have. Like it's separate from the adventure and everything, so it pretty much like teaches you how to use the pop-it power-up thing and all that stuff. So other than that, I think that was pretty much it. But I only played like a couple of the community levels. I was gonna like try to start my own level, but then I was like, that takes time, and I would start one, get distracted, and then end up not doing anything. So I was like, maybe some other time. So I just customized my moon, and I was like, that's close enough. And then that pretty much as far as that went. Other than that, I played Tales of Hearts R. We got to the next like main town thingy, but then the main character guy got into a fight with one of the people, so he got like locked up now. So I kind of like stopped playing like right after that point. So I think I'm actually still in the middle of a cutscene, but my Vita's like on that frozen thingy where it like pauses things, which is such a great feature. Why doesn't everything have this? I don't know. So it's like, so now it's just kind of just sitting there in like mid cutscene until I go back to it. But I forgot to mention before that the game is actually it's like in Japanese, so it's just like subtitled and stuff. So because Freedom Wars was the same way. It's like they didn't like fully dub it or whatever. So yeah, so that's a thing. So a lot of the stuff, I guess, I don't know. It's just a lot of the dialogue and stuff is all in Japanese and everything, and then you just get the subtitles. So there's a lot of reading, but I think for like a Tales game on a handheld though, I guess the handhelds are pretty limited considering how large the Tales games usually are. So there's kind of like, I guess, only so much they could do in terms of stuff like that. So that's probably why it ended up that way. Because even like the in-battle stuff, they don't do like the full-on skits and stuff like they used to do like they usually do in the console versions. And there's like the dungeons are a lot more straightforward too. So I guess you're kind of limited on what you can do on a handheld when you have larger titles. So that's I picked up Infamous Second Son on Black Friday, so I played through that and I finished it yesterday. I think was it yesterday?
What?
The day before yesterday or something.
It's not that long.
It's not really. I mean, when I
just
did
started
play it, I
first.
was just playing it by itself though. So I was playing it without break. So
I actually did blaze through Second Son, but I didn't do any of the side stuff. And then later I was like, oh, some of the side stuff is kind of fun.
Oh, I did all the side stuff before I finished it. So
Wow.
Well, now I'm glad I got it for $20 on the PSN PSN sale for my flash sale.
I mean, it's not like short, but it's not like super long either.
You just got the game, dude.
Yeah, like days ago.
Exactly.
Yeah,
than a
but
week.
I was
It's
playing
like how
I was playing like multiple hours
actually,
a day though.
I platinumed Infamous 2 in like 2 days
What?
after the game came out.
Yeah, they're not like.
Well, I
But
guess
I
I've
mean-
never finished an Infamous game. That's what it must be. Because I got like part of the way through the first one, and then I just stopped playing for some reason. So I never went back to it.
They like they really streamlined getting the platinum in the second one. I remember because in the first one, there was like the shards that you have to collect. They're everywhere, and there's not really a easy way to locate them. So you just have to go everywhere. And in 2, there was a locate them, and so it was just really fast. I was like,
Oh, yeah, 'cause you had like the
and I,
radar
re-
too.
yeah,
So.
and I really liked the game, and I just, man, I played so much of it, and then I was like, wow, I finished it twice.
And that's the
It's
thing
like,
too. But that's
okay,
what I'm
guess
saying
I'm
though, because
done.
it's not like short in like the sense of like a lot of games are like a couple hours long. Because like when I was like doing like marathon sessions when I was playing
Oh,
it, so
okay.
that's why I finished it so quickly. It because I played for like hours each time I played it, so it wasn't just like 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there, and then it's like, oh, I'm done now. So that was
Oh,
because
it's so good you can't put it down, and then you're like, oh, it's done. It's like that kind of game.
well, no, I just hadn't played an Infamous game in a while, so I was just like, I can just sit back and enjoy this for a while or whatever. But crap, where was I going with this? I forgot. Made me forget what I was my train of thought. Look what you did. Look what you did, Tekken. Look what you did.
You're welcome.
Crap, I forgot. But yeah, because yeah, okay. So yeah, Second Son is I was playing that, and that was a thing, and yeah, yeah, that happened. So yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, I was like, well, I was like, I guess I was doing like side stuff as I was playing through the story. So I guess like by the time the end game came, I only had like a few other things left to do, like a few more walls to tag or cameras to break or whatever to clear out the town thingy. So I ended up clearing out like all of Seattle, and by the time the end game thingy, so I had all the shards and stuff. So I was all prepared, and I actually didn't even power up any of my powers until like the end of the game. I was like,
What?
I should probably use all these shards now that I have like 100 and something of them. So I like power leveled, I guess, at the end of it or whatever. So that was kind of fun because I was like, I could have done this earlier, but I just didn't know because I didn't know how many powers you would get or something. So I didn't want to like use the shards on one, and then it's like, haha, you only have a finite number of shards. But then it turns out you could just power up everything when you have all the shards. So it was for naught. So, but just in case, because that's how it happens in RPGs, where it's like you have a finite resource, and it's like, haha, you used it all on this one thing. Well, you should have waited to use it on this thing. Haha. And it's like, no. So I got paranoid and didn't use them until towards the end of the game. But it's fine. I still it probably would have made things easier had I actually used them, but still. Um, but yeah, I as I was playing though, because the impressions I got from the trailers was initially I thought I guess Delson was already a conduit when you started or something, but apparently he didn't even know he was a conduit until after the fact. So I was kind of like thrown initially when he was being all like, "What's going on? Why are you having these powers and stuff?" And I was like, "But you looked all happy in the trailers when you were like beating the crap out of people." So I just figured he knew he was one, but yeah, he kind of fell into it shortly after though anyway, so he did kind of end up loving it. But I the karmic actions in this game
Oh, yeah, I
don't
saw your
make
tweet
as
about
much
that.
sense as as they in like the previous ones. Like there's more for one. There are more karmic choices in the previous games, but in this one they
Hmm.
just didn't seem like I don't know. It seems like you kind of had to go out of your way to be infamous in this one because the karmic choices were less like whether you like corrupt somebody or not. I'm like, why would you do this? This isn't even. I don't know. It just didn't seem to make sense to me.
Yeah,
I mean, I did it anyway out of spite, but I'm just saying. I was like, this doesn't make sense because like why would you even do this? So I don't know. It was kind of weird. I think in this game, being the good Delson was canon because you really would have to. It like the bad choices didn't make sense.
you
Like
have to
it's
be
like
unreasonable.
yeah, it's like why would
Well, yeah, a lot of them just felt like, do you just want to do this? For for fun.
Yeah,
I was
so
like,
like,
okay.
because like when the second was it the second it would have had to be the second one when they chose for fetch or whatever, and I was and they were like, do you want to corrupt or redeem? I was like, what do you mean corrupt or redeem her? Why am I corrupting her to begin with? Like, what the hell? So I was like, this doesn't make sense. Didn't they just have a conversation like prior to this about how he doesn't want her to go around killing people?
I want to
So
be a good guy, but
so I was like, you know what? Since the game made me go through, it's like if I'm gonna go out of my way, I might as well just go ahead and do it. Then, so I just chose because I was actually doing the good karma path up until that point, and then it was just I was just like, this doesn't make sense. So, but I did it anyway. But it was like this. So I'm probably gonna play through on the good play through with the good karma thing, but I mean I don't know how much of a difference it makes because it almost seems like it doesn't make that much of a difference in the story or anything if you do either or, but it just made some of the cutscenes weird when I'm like playing as an infamous character and then one guy's like, I'm so proud of what you've become. It's like, you shouldn't be because I've been killing people. So it's like it's
I hide it well.
it's like that, so that didn't make sense, but yeah, it's kind of cool. Or the powers are kind of cool though, because I mean they're not like the normal stand. I mean they're like kind of like weird stand-ins for normal powers. Like the smoke ones, I guess like supposed to be like the pyrokinesis kind of thing, but it's not really fire because using smoke and like ash and stuff. So I mean some of the powers are pretty cool. I like the last two, although the last one you don't have like a
That was
super
weird.
attack for it, which made me sad. I was like, this would have been cool to have like a super for this, but they didn't. I was like,
Decent
no.
building.
I know, right? It's like, yes, this is the best thing ever. But because it's like I ended up powering it up because once I got it, I still had like a bunch of shards, so I just powered it all up during the battle that I got it in. But I was like, at the end, I had nothing to do after I beat the game because I had already cleared everything before I finished the game. So I was like, this now does not. This is now just pointless because it's like I have this power and I can't use it on anything because I cleared everything already. So it's kind of weird. So I just kind of just ran around the town and just kind of just played around for a bit until I just found something to just kind of because it's like it's weird
Stomped
and
around town.
yeah, because it's like, well, what do I do now? And it's like it's weird too because the only way to charge that power is from the enemies anyway. And now since I cleared everything, they're like rarely on the street. So it's like, well, what do I do? So I'm just like, that did not work out as planned. So yeah, that was weird. But yeah, and then I end up I don't. Did you play through both endings, Tropical, or you just
I
did
haven't. I just did one.
Was it the good
I
ending?
think there
or
was
the bad
other
ending?
stuff at the time. I did the good ending.
Oh yeah, because I mean, I think that is the only difference between the karma thingies is the endings, because the infamous ending is it's kind of a downer, because like, oh, this is sad, especially what he does after the fact, because it's like, oh, that is very bad. So yeah, so now I'm kind of curious as to what the good ending is, because yeah, the infamous one was not. It wasn't very nice. So yeah, a lot of implied death and whatnot. But yeah. I don't know. I started doing the paper trail DLC thingy, and that is like
Oh.
the weirdest DLC ever. 'Cause what the hell was Sucker Punch thinking? It's like, because it's like I don't know if there's like a special term for the type of stuff it is, because it's like you do stuff in game, but then you have to go to like a website and do like investigative stuff, and then it
Yeah.
affects your stuff in game, and then you have to do, and it's like a back and forth kind of thing. I was like, this is a very unusual way to do DLC. It's like,
It's like a homework assignment.
yeah, it really was, because it's like, because some of the things like require you to like solve these puzzles and stuff, and I was like, why am I doing this right now? It's like this is taking me longer than playing the game. So it's kind of, it's like there was like one where I had to like decrypt the thing, and you had to go through like 7 waves of it, and I was like, this is ridiculous right now. So it is a
Man.
very unusual DLC, to say the least.
I think it was probably cool like while it was going on, but now that it's all out, It's, it's just like I'm spending a lot of time in a big chunk doing this thing, not
Yeah,
playing the game.
exactly. It's like I was doing it since I was doing it all at once. Since I guess all the DLC is out now, it's kind of
Yeah.
just like, oh, all this time spent on this on my computer trying to do this. What the hell? It's like this is the time where you need like a console with a second screen because then you can just like do the back and forth kind of thing. But it's like this is like kind of annoying because now I'm like doing this and it's like, hey, go on here, and then you have to, and there's not like really there's no real directions or any like real direction or anything to the DLC, so you kind of have to like figure stuff out on your own. So it's like if you weren't just like, huh, maybe I should just check out this website that's on this person's business card kind of thing. It's like you would never get past the first part of the DLC. So it's like it's really, yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I haven't finished it though, but I'm on part 6, I think, now. So I don't know. It's just like, huh, this is weird. This is very weird. And you better get something awesome after beating it, because like if I don't get like some kind of cool origami powers, I'm gonna be pissed.
Origami powers.
Well, I mean, you're chasing around the paper chick. I assume you can steal her powers. I mean, that's kind of how it works with Dulcin.
Paper.
The paper, exactly. I actually just watched that that series the other day.
I love that show. The series was not as good, but man, the original.
The OVAs are great. I enjoyed those. But yeah. Anyways, so yeah, it's I don't know. I enjoyed Infamous. Not so much. I don't know how I feel about the DLC though. Like, I should not have to work so hard when I'm doing when I'm playing a game. So it is weird to have to do stuff like that, because when you're like, because it's like you literally have to do research and stuff, and I was like, what is this? What is going on here? So yeah, it is different, to say the least. So I mean, I do get, I mean, they do deserve credit for that, but it's just like, man, this is work. It should not be work. So yeah, fun times. And finally, I picked up Persona Q. I forgot the subtitle for it, or something about labyrinths or something. That one. In at the beginning of the game, you choose which cast you want to start off in, because that it tells the story from their perspective. So it's you either choose the Persona 3 cast or the Persona 4 cast, and whoever you choose, you get the entire cast to start off with, which is good for like well, I guess technically for both games, because in the case of their parent games, some of the characters joined like super late, and you may have like never used them, because why at that point you would have already just like in Persona 4, what's her name, Nato, she joins like I think like a month or two before the finale, and it's like by then you already have like your core team, and it's like you're not really, I'm not going to go through the trouble of power leveling you when I already have like a souped up team here. So it's like, what's the point? Which, and even worse is like, because she's the main dark and light user for the cast, so but by then most of the things are immune to dark and light, so it's like she's like pretty much useless at that point. So it's like, I can do your social link, and that's about it. And after that, I'll probably never see you again. So, yeah. So it's characters like that are pretty much there for novelty. But since you get the entire cast, depending on which one you choose at the beginning, you can actually kind of use them, because this is probably the few times I actually used Nato, because she comes with her dark and light stuff at the beginning of the game here, which is actually useful, because there are things that are actually weak against it at the beginning of the games, usually for these type of games, and she'll eventually get phased out, because I mean things are going to start being immune to it eventually. So it's like, you're no longer useful, so you get cut out again. But it's I think they kind of they might have been intentionally kind of spread out the skills and stuff though, because it seems like other characters they don't use the same type of skills that they used in their parent games, because even once the cast from whichever game you didn't choose joins up, some of them have different skills and stuff too. And I think they probably try to balance it out so you will use different combinations of people because for some strange reason, I think Ken gets like the revive spell. He comes with it, I think, which is weird because I don't think he even has it in Persona 3 because it's usually the medic keeps it as their, and it's not usually like a high level spell too. So it's kind of weird. So I mean, I still don't use them because I don't like kids. So but but I mean, I got a skill card for it anyway in one of the labyrinth floors, so I'm just gonna like put it on Yukari or Yukiko and be done with it because that'll show them. But anywho's once you pick whichever team you're gonna go up on, the story kind of takes place. Or well, I picked the Persona 4 team, so I don't know what happens with the Persona 3 team, but it starts with like a cultural festival or something at their school, but then things get all weird and somebody was talking about the school urban legends or something, and it kind of sets off the whole chain of events that lead to the whole labyrinth stuff. So basically the group has to go in and they find these two characters who are like trapped in the labyrinth initially, and they kind of join the group as one unit, but they can't use personas, so everybody's all weirded out by the fact that they can still fight shadows without being able to do that. So there's some weird stuff going on with those two apparently, and they kind of tag along, and you try to help them, I guess, get out of the labyrinth. The main change-ups for this particular game is it's still like the turn-based battle system that the other two games have, but I think because it's like a fusion between Persona and what the hell's that other series called that they do? The Odyssey one. That one.
Etrian Odyssey.
That one, yes. It's like a fusion between the two of them. So the gameplay, it's like a mix between the two. So now you can have up to 5 people in your party at once now. So you have a front row and a back row, and you also there's like a mapping system that you use where you draw out the map that you. As you go through the labyrinth, you like trace out the walls and the floors and traps and stuff, so you can get a layout of the map. And usually once you get like 100% of the floor explored, there's like a chest on each floor that has like a special item in it, and it only opens if you complete 100% of the floor or use your play coins to open it up. But I think it costs like hundreds of them to do it, so it's not even worth the trouble. But you can also use the map system to do like an auto walk or thing where you can like trace out your path, and then the characters will just do it for you automatically. And so you don't have to like always be navigating the floors if you're just kind of trying to get to the power spots or just trying to get to like certain places on the floor to get stuff. So that's kind of a useful feature once you have your map all drawn out and everything. But because of the way Etrian's battle system works, they added like new features to this one in order to kind of make it work with the whole Persona thing. So now there's like special skills that can attack full or whole rows or pierce to back rows, or like different types of things that heal rows and stuff like that. And they have like different stat boosts and things as well now, in addition to like stat binding. So you can like bind enemy's agility or their magic or their strength and stuff like that, and kind of like limit their battle options and stuff. So now there's like a lot more tactical stuff going on in this battle system. So you kind of have to be more, I guess, cautious of your team makeups and the different personas and stuff, because now it's not just run and overpower kind of thing. Because in addition to the battle system changes, now everybody can use 2 personas at once, because there was like some weird thing going on with the 2 main characters having the wild card ability or something. So it like messed everything up, and now everybody can use 2 personas. So now you have a main persona and a sub persona. So you can kind of like have like the characters with their core abilities, and then they can have like a subset of different abilities that kind of you can play off of each other and cover up weaknesses and stuff that way as well. So there's all that stuff going on, but the this it seems more lighthearted than the two previous series, considering one is about a serial killer and the other one's about people getting their minds melted. So it's like it's a bit more lighthearted than 3 and 4 are, because there's like a lot of comedic moments and stuff going on. Like there was like one part where they're trying to explain what Alice in Wonderland was about, because the first labyrinth is like modeled around it, and there's like this back and forth where the characters are explaining it wrong, and the new character is like confusing it and adding like food to it for some reason. So it's like one person was like, "Oh, this is it's where Teddy was the first one to start explaining stuff, and he's like, oh, the story's about where Teddy scores with all the hot girls and before he turns into butter." And then she's like, oh, it's all the butter you can eat kind of thing. And it was just like this whole back and forth where they kept talking about aliens and meat and all. It just got weird, and they were just like, and then at one point Nato was just like, let me just explain this because you guys are all idiots. So she just went through and explained it, because there's like a couple of characters still play like they're the straight man to a lot of the other characters' antics, because some of them are pretty out there. So there's a lot of like humor little skits going on and everything. So there's that. I think, and it's probably because it takes the place of the social links, since there aren't any social links in this game. So they kind of they take the place of that, where the characters kind of interact with each other and all that stuff. So there is that, but that's pretty much it. I think that's all I've been playing.
All right. I just wanted to like say one more thing about Shadow of Mordor. I forgot, and that's like when someone kills you, because like I've only been killed like twice, and so like the first time I'd like completely wiped the map of all like of Mordor's fiends or Sauron's fiends, and so like it like basically it passes time and like replenishes his forces, and then the enemy that killed you gets promoted. And it's cool when they get promoted because they get like better armor and they like even more menacing looking, and it's cool because like today when I was streaming and I got killed, this dude had like this spear and he had this like sweet armor, or kind of sweet armor, because that's why he killed me, because I couldn't like attack him. And that's the other thing is like enemies have like defenses and weaknesses, and so like you have to like get your intel from enemies to like know from like the people that are gonna like interrogate them, like to tell you stuff to like how you're gonna take them down. But like anyway, back to like the dudes that get promoted. Like he had this spear thing, and then he got like promoted, and now he has like this crazy flaming spear thing. And I was in this like giant melee with a bunch of them, and then like they all kept showing up of like dudes I'd like fought, but they got away, and they came back as like upper henchmen, and they had like either something covering like a like scarf, or like I got them in the face, or just like more armor on because they knew I was gonna come for their face or something cool. So yeah. But on to this week's question time. My sweet and short question that I'm going to ask first is my question was basically like what do you say when someone asks you what type of games you play? Because I like when people, because that's what happens at work when like people ask me like what I do. I'm just like, oh yeah, I play video games, and they'll be like, oh, what type of games do you play? And then I'll be like, oh, I play everything except for puzzle games and sports games. Or no, I think they say it in sports games and puzzle games, like in that order. It's like sports games and puzzle games, I suck at puzzles. So I mean, I get stuck on doors. So that's my answer. So I was going to ask you too, like what do you guys say when people ask you that question?
I mean,
or do you ever get asked that question?
I do when anybody like finds out I play video games. They usually ask, but I mean, it's usually hard because even when I tell them the type of games I play, like, because exactly, and then because I play so many obscure titles, sometimes it's just like there's no way to like yeah, I play this and this, because then there's gonna be like.
So even if you say like, have you heard of Final Fantasy? They'll be like, no, and you can't like go any further.
I think that's the only time because I usually use Final Fantasy as the base, but even if they don't know what that is, I'm like, well, then I really can't tell you because everything else is far more obscure than Final Fantasy. So usually, I'll tell them like I play strategy games, puzzle games, and RPGs and stuff like that for the most part, even though I play like other genres, but those are like my main ones. But then, like I said, when they're like, oh, like what? And I'm like, I can't be like Danganronpa, because they're like, what the hell is that? So it's like, I'm like, God So yeah, I don't know. It's usually difficult unless somebody has like a somewhat working knowledge of video games, because otherwise it's just like I play these genres, but you don't know any of the games that I play in. So yeah.
It's weird. Like usually when people ask me that, I automatically just say everything because that's kind of true. It's always the follow up question that's hard. It's like, oh, like what? And then it's like,
I just said everything, didn't
yeah, I
I?
was like, how do I pick one out out of the everything that I play? And so it
Oh
always
yeah, I
it
do get
usually
that too.
comes
Like the
down to
follow up of
whatever
like,
I
oh, like what? And
Yeah.
I'll be like, or like what's your favorite game right now, or what are you playing right now? Like lately, I've just been saying like Destiny, but like I would say like anything that's co-op, like Borderlands or Left 4 Dead,
Mhm.
where it's like co-op.
Yeah, like I just basically now default to whatever it was last on my screen.
That game.
So like,
Because like so there's probably like a point when I would say Mass Effect, and they'd be like, "What's that?" And I'd be like, "Whatever, dude. I'm just not gonna say it anymore."
Yeah, because it's
That's
kind of like
good.
it's kind of hard to like explain stuff, especially when it's stuff that's already difficult to explain to somebody who's actually familiar with it to begin with. So then it's like if you don't even know, then it's like me telling you is not gonna just gonna be us going around in circles because you don't know what's happening. Because like before when I had gone to GameStop and got the first Danganronpa or whatever, and the guy was like, "Oh, so what is it?" And I was like, it's like, how do I explain this? Because it's yeah. Because then I was like, oh, it's similar to Virtue's Last Reward or whatever, and they're like, what is that? And I was like, well, you know what? I don't know what to tell you, sir, because you don't know what these games are.
are you even working here?
I'm just about to say, it's like, what is your purpose? So yeah, because like when you, especially with games like that that are already obscure to begin with, but then they have like kind of weird gameplay about them, so it's kind of hard to like to explain to people because it's like, well, kids get murdered, you do class trials, the usual stuff. So it's like, what? So
Yeah. Although I guess I don't run into that much. Most people that ask me are people who kind of know about games, and
I seem to
I don't know.
the only
They seem
game
to be
anywhere I go.
surprised that I like. Yeah, it's weird. I guess I run into lots of lone gamers, and they're just like, "Oh, you like games too?" It's like, "What do you play?" And I was like, "Everything." And then they'll start talking about what they're playing right now, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I played that." And then I've never had the situation where it's like, "I've never heard of that game," or "What game is that?"
It's even more. I mean, because it's even happened with like people who I pretty much assume or who are just like mainstream gamers, and they'll just bring up like, "Oh yeah, I'm such a gamer," and then they'll just mention how they play like Call of Duty or something. It's like everyone plays that. You're not really a gamer just because you play Call of Duty. So it's always like, yeah, that I don't know. It's weird because it's like my genre preferences are not as, I guess, mainstream as some other games, so it's kind of difficult to explain sometimes to people because they're like, yeah, I don't know what that is. So yeah, so it's like good talk, guys.
I did have a question, but it was like, I don't know how much we want to go into this. But so, the other day, like when I started talking about secret ponchos, and Tekken was talking about PvP, stay away from me, hashtag, and I was, or the other way around.
It's like, I think you did that wrong.
Yeah. I started thinking, I was like, when did this happen? I mean, when I first played with Tekken, we were. So I wasn't around in the SOCOM days because I.
Oh yeah, I just about to say the same day. It's like when I first played games with Tekken, it was in PvP, so it's like
Yeah,
it's weird.
like
that
the
you do
first
that
stuff
way
I
now.
played
Where it's like after it's kind of like it's this is gonna be a super weird analogy,
Oh, boy.
but after playing like okay, we'll start with Mass Effect 'cause it's just like so good. But then like after that, and then like after flipping Walking Dead, Wolf Among Us, dude, it's just like I feel like I've been just like baptized by the waters and like cleansed of just like when I go to play a game, I just want to sit down and have a nice narrative story experience and enjoy it, and not be in some game where some person's on some headset being like blah, 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 and just like I'm so over it. I'm just like whatever. I'm over it. Just never
See,
again.
like
Never
that,
again.
that was
Never
the thing,
again.
like
Never again. Never again.
because we played a ton of Call of Duty in the beginning, or after Modern Warfare, and then at some point,
It just stopped being fun. It's like that. It's like that, and it is just like there. It was like the same game every year. It's like there is no real. I don't get anything out of it. All I'm doing is running around shooting people. It's like there's nothing there. It's like there's no story to experience or character or like NPCs to fall in love with. The just only and then it's a soulless experience of no fun.
because like
No, thank you.
when I think about the way that you play games, it seems like you're still sort of doing the same thing. Because you remember back in the day, you were talking about, oh yeah, so I did all the gun challenges, and then I did like all the gun challenges for this thing, and then. Like those are things I've never done actually in Call of Duty. I played a lot of Call of Duty back then too, but I always used the same one gun. And you were talking about, yeah, I finished all the challenges. And these days it's like Mass Effect or yeah, Mass Effect was like that too. When you had that goal and you just got essentially everything in Mass Effect 3 co-op. And then, like, Destiny is sort of like that, too. Or at least for a while, it was just like, when I think about that, it's like, you're not really playing for narrative anymore. Mass
That's a
Effect
different
3
experience,
co-op
John Nicole.
doesn't have...
That is a completely different experience. Different experience.
though?
Yeah,
Because it's like-
exactly. I mean, it is a different experience. And so, it got me thinking, it's like, what is... surely this can't mean that PvP, like, you're just done with all PvP. Because the thing is, like...
I don't even think it's like after the next Tekken, it's like I'm done. I'm not even playing fighting games. It's like I retire. No more fighting games. Unless there's a Street Fighter Tekken, it's like dead to me.
Not all PvP is the same. Is what I'm saying. It's like because the thing for me, like Secret Ponchos, yes, it's PvP, but it's not like you're playing the same thing over and over again. Well, I mean, eventually you will, but the first several times, it's not because you've never played it before. It's not the same thing over and over again the first time,
once you
right?
Get to your, this is how I play this character, and this is like how I'm gonna roll in this mode. That's
Yeah. See,
all
like
there's to
once
it.
you get to that point, then maybe it's like, oh, I'm done with it. But before you get to that point, it's sort of like, it's just a new game.
Not
like because
worth the
I
time
was
invested.
showing you
I'm
like
getting old,
sort of-
dude. I'm gonna die. I'm game night. I mean, I'm so young, but
Wow,
still, I'm
you
just
are
saying, like,
not that old.
I'm kind of just,
What
in
do you
the tunnel
say?
looking, and like the light is there, and I can see it, and it's like, if I've got, a finite amount, why would I want to spend it doing something I could do doing
I'm
something else?
pretty sure you got like a good 60 or so years left. You're probably good. But,
I think I'm just I'm super like paranoid about my time right now. I don't know what it is. It's just like I just feel like I have to get like the most out of
Why?
it. I don't know.
You're-
I don't know. I just like it's like a pet peeve or something I have. It's just like I have to like be efficient about everything because like my time is very valuable and just I don't like to waste it. Just
Tropical's older than you, and he's not that paranoid. What is wrong with you?
I don't.
Like,
I
what the
think I
hell?
don't know. I think there's just some sense of like what my day-to-day grind has just gotten to me, where it's like I just feel like it's so foreboding
like-
on me. Of just like
Do you have like assassins after you or something that we don't know about, or like what
I think it's just the backlog. It's like I
suppose
came
there's
up with
always
this
a chance you
thing
can die
I'm gonna
on
put on my
Black Friday.
Facebook on my when I update it at the end of the year of like it's like in the Dark Knight when they like say you either live long enough to become the villain or you die the hero. It's like you either die having finished all the games in your backlog or you've lived long enough to play every game ever or something. I think it's backwards, whatever. But like I don't know, it's getting to me of like I have to finish all these games. It's like if I don't finish them all, it's like my life is like ruined. I have like my life is a failure. I have all these games, I haven't played them all, and I just keep getting them and just and PlayStation Plus they're free, so it's like so just that's
Well,
why
you
like
don't
the
have to play
one game a month thing is
every
just like
game
but then like
ever.
next year I'm trying to like get rid of that rule and be like no I'm free now. Tekken is free. F that rule. Like it's all off the table, dudes. Because next year it's a video game. I'm gonna buy whatever the F I want. I don't give a F. Like yeah, I have a job. Like, I got money. Like, it's bugging me so much. I think all this money is like, I can't spend it all. It's like, why are you not spending money? It's like, I don't know. It's a personal problem. It's probably a personal problem. That's probably what it is. I don't know. It's just,
You have
it's like a time thing. It's a money thing. It's like I think that's what it is. It's just like restraint I'm trying to exercise, and like I am super impulsive, but that's what it is. It's just like I'm super impulsive, and it's like it's like when I try to use self control, and it's just really really hard. It's just like it's kind of paid off. It's like it's so hard. It's so hard. It's so hard. Yeah.
But even if you do buy something every once in a while because you just have an impulse buy, just remember you'll never be gamer. So there's always that.
He just got his 2 terabyte hard drive, so
See?
he's set.
And so it begins.